Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he just really was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utangsu and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
On the edge of downtown Fort Wayne, Indiana, is the Indiana Tech campus. Tonight we welcome you inside the Schaefer Center as the Warriors come in with a 6-1 conference record on the season, 12-7 overall on the year, taking on the Concordia Cardinals, who come in at 500 on the season and 4-3 in WAC play so far this year. For SummitCitySports.com and Indiana Tech Athletics here on YouTube, I'm Jaron Matheny, happy to be with you on this Wednesday night from the Schaefer Center as the Warriors look to continue a winning streak going into a conference crossover tournament weekend in Fort Wayne at the Turnstone Center. Before we talk about that, let's dive deeper into this matchup tonight. Indiana Tech coming in following a 4-set winner on Saturday over Lords. Tech was led on the attack by Noelle Van Ort, who had 14 kills, but Amelia Schultz with 13 kills in the victory as well. Hannah Tyke had 7 kills for Indiana Tech. Again, a 4-set victory over Lords. That helped the Warriors improve to 9-1 on the home floor this season, and 4 consecutive match victories leading into tonight. Trying to make it 5 in a row before the conference crossover this weekend. Friday afternoon, 3 p.m., scheduled first serve between Indiana Tech and Huntington University. That match will be held at the Turnstone Center, and the Turnstone will be the site for all the matches Friday and Saturday as Tech hosts another tournament this weekend. The Concordia Cardinals coming in at 9-9 overall and 4-3 in the WAC this year. They fell at Siena Heights on Saturday in 3 sets as the Saints were able to hit 354 on the home court to get the win. Concordia going to take this weekend off, a chance to recoup for the Cardinals before they travel to Northwestern Ohio on Wednesday of next week. So a full weekend off upcoming for Concordia, a chance to really relax and rest the legs and get things back on the right track for Concordia and get back into more of a regular volleyball schedule as you get closer to tournament season and get fully into the conference season, a little bit lighter on the legs as we continue throughout the year, and then you want to try and ramp it up once again once we hit the end of the season. The Cardinals head coach Danielle Cook is in her 7th season at the helm now for Concordia, 4-year starter for the Cardinals from 2008 to 2011. Head coach Matt Fishman for Indiana Tech in his 3rd season. He's taken Tech to the national tournament each of the past 2 years, and a former state champion at Bishop Chatard High School here in Indiana. The Warriors, the reigning regular season and postseason champions in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference, sweeping Aquinas in the WAC championship a year ago before falling in 4 sets to Mount Vernon Nazarene at the national tournament. For Concordia, trying to break a trend against Indiana Tech here tonight. The Cardinals come in 37 matches played against Tech with a 3-34 overall record, 1-20 at home, 2-14 on the road for Concordia, and those numbers reflect just how lopsided this series has been. Last matchup between these two came back on September 13th and went 4 sets, but in favor of Indiana Tech, as Concordia has lost 17 consecutive matches in this series, trying to break a trend here tonight at the Schaefer Center. The Cardinals have been led on the attack this season by Claudia Grepke. Grepke, first team all Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference in the 2022-23 season, a year when she had 363 kills. Concordia had the Libero of the Year last year as well, and a group that graduated some really good talent from a season ago, and one of the best attackers in Concordia history, if I'm not mistaken, with Peters, who led the charge for Concordia, but still a talented group this season. They'll look at a 2-setter rotation. Emma Lineberger leads the team in assists with 321 on the year, but freshman Jillian Kendrick will get some valuable time on the floor as well. 229 assists on the season for Kendrick. Grepke with 193 kills. Brianne June, 182 kills coming into tonight. Indiana Tech led by Noelle Van Ort, 262 kills on the season. That's nearly 4 kills per set on the year for Noelle, who is 22 kills away from 1,500 in her Indiana Tech career. She was the player of the year in the conference last season, a 3rd-team NAIA All-American, and she's increased her kills per set total to 3.21 for her career. 3.21 kills per set in her Tech career. That's good for 2nd on the all-time list. She is 1st all-time in career service aces. Coming into tonight's action, 247 aces in Noelle's illustrious Indiana Tech volleyball career. Madison Mays at libero, 250 digs this season. We will not see Mays tonight. Cassidy Boner will take over at the starting libero spot for head coach Matt Fishman's group. Mays went out of that last match against Lords this past weekend, still dealing with a little bit of an injury on her, I believe it's her right hand. We'll talk with Coach Fishman after the match tonight, hopefully get a little bit of an update on what we're expecting to see from Mays the rest of this season. Hopefully she can get healthy and ready to go again as Indiana Tech could certainly use her this weekend, but they'll want her the later the season progresses as well. It's Indiana Tech taking on Concordia. Cardinals trying to get to above 500 on the season and get up to 5-3 in the WAC. Indiana Tech tries to make it 5 consecutive match victories. We'll come back in 4 minutes. The Schaefer Center with First Serve, SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses, we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
We welcome you back to the Schaefer Center, SummitCitySports.com, and Indiana Tech Athletics on YouTube. Jaron Matheny, glad you are with us. Running through the starters for Concordia. The middle hitter position at 5'10", a sophomore, Marin Merkel. Emma Lineberger is the sophomore setter at 5'6". Defensive specialist and libero from right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Blackhawk Christian High School is Emmeline Wood. Megan Newman also at the middle hitter position, a senior from Ypsilanti. Brianne June, an outside attacker from North Branch, Michigan. Out of Las Vegas is Claudia Grepke, and then the sophomore from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, J.C. Powell. For Indiana Tech, Katie Gostovich, Noelle Van Ort, alongside Sarah Gompertz, Amelia Schultz. Getting the start at libero tonight is Cassidy Boner in place of Madison Mays, Taylor Sorg, and Hannah Tyke also in that front row for the Warriors. Indiana Tech taking on Concordia. First matchup of the season between these two, and Tech will end the season with a weekend trip at Concordia and then at Northwestern Ohio just 2 days later. That'll be on November 6th, next time these two squads meet up. And it'll take place in Ann Arbor. So again, no Madison Mays for Indiana Tech this evening. It's Noelle Van Ort. We'll go back to the service line to begin things for Indiana Tech. Live from the Schaefer Center, we're underway tonight. Lineberger set to the outside, and a free ball popped over and out by J.C. Powell. And Tech grabs the first point of this match. Van Ort, low line drive serve, and there's career ace number 248 for Noelle Van Ort. Already first all-time in Tech volleyball history, but as we mentioned on a couple of different broadcasts, maybe a broken record at this point, she just continues to pad on that stat. Near the net, and miscommunication for Concordia as the Cardinals look a little bit out of whack early. 3-0 Tech in front. Tell you, early on in the pregame today, it felt like it was just a little bit quieter than normal inside the Schaefer Center. And Noelle Van Ort took the leadership role. Kind of, I won't say called out her teammates, but she was vocal about everybody being involved in the process of warm-ups and not going through the motions, and calling out where they were going, whether it was out or in the middle. And that's the kind of leadership you expect from a senior. Amelia Schultz just too far. And a Concordia point makes it 4-1. Brianne June, senior outside hitter, serving at the back line. Gostovich to the middle for Gompertz, and it's back to Gostovich. Dug out by June. Near side swing for the lefty Powell. Tyke down the middle. Soft tap over for the leader in attack percentage this season for Indiana Tech. Gostovich across, and a net violation called against Concordia. Point Warriors. And 5-1, Tech has the advantage in the first. Hannah Tyke, sophomore out of Elkhart, Indiana. 327 attacking percentage coming in to match play tonight. Wood's first touch right off the right hand of Taylor Sorg and in for the Tech point. Make it 6-1, Warriors on top early. Just joining us, Warriors have controlled this series, and as they have with a lot of series in this conference, 17 match wins in a row for Tech over Concordia. Powell outside. Nice swing from the sophomore. J.C. Powell, 100 kills on the season coming into tonight. Six to 2 Warriors early. Gostovic over the top, and that handcuffed the back row. Return is out. 7 to 2. Substitution, and Megan Newman back in. Two-hand dump down, good for Gostovic, and now 8 to 2. It's Paige Redder's on the floor serving for Indiana Tech. Redder coming in with 14 aces on the season. Serves over. Long run on touch 2 for Lineberger. Gostovic gets another swing. Came down the net line. Gompertz angles back. Van Oort high in the air. Powell tried to dump it in. Sorg was there. Joust came back over. Powell over and down for her second kill. Jillian Kendrick on for the first time for Concordia, freshman out of Adrian, Michigan. 20 aces coming into tonight. Skied as Ortiz Acevedo into the match. Goes near side. Gostovic plants it on the back row. 9 to 3. .11 junior from Roberts, Wisconsin. 82 kills coming into match play this evening. Sorg dumps back and in, and a great start for Indiana Tech tonight. 10 to 3, and will force a Concordia timeout. Warriors off and running here at the Schaefer Center, trying to get ready for that conference crossover this weekend. We'll step aside, come back in 1 minute. SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
10 to 3, Indiana Tech leading Concordia after the opening set of action from the Schaefer Center tonight. Jaron Matheny for SummitCitySports.com. Indiana Tech Warriors here on YouTube. Glad you're with us. We've got soccer going on as well this evening. Carson over there with Joe Northern running camera. Serve long. And it's 10 to 4. Point Concordia out of the timeout. Part of the struggle for the Cardinals this season, you look at the overall stats on the website, they're hitting just 117 as a team this year. Noelle Van Oort too strong on this return. One of the positive takeaways, though, is teams are only hitting about $168 against Concordia this year. You'd figure that margin be a little bit bigger than it is, and that's part of the reason Cardinals are at 500. Back set coming to the near side, swing over from Peavy House. And drop shot opportunity. Tip. And this is into the net against Concordia, point Warriors. Jesselyn Peavy House out on the floor, senior from Davison, Michigan. Yeah, nice read by Emmeline Wood in the back corner. That one was called out by the line judge, although Tech felt a little bit differently on the floor. Serve across at Ortiz Acevedo. Gompert's coming to Van Ort. The tip and a home. 12-6. Sophomore Emmeline Wood serving from right here in Fort Wayne. Go through her bio a little bit more as this match continues. That's in. Point for Concordia to make it 12-7. Live stats reloaded here as having just a little bit of Wi-Fi issues on our side of things. Looks like we're okay though. Serve long, now 13-7, Tech in front. Noelle Van Ort already with an ace tonight. Going down the middle, back row, swing for Newman is online. And it's 13-8 now. Yeah, here's our stats are down at the moment. There we go, pop back up and ready to go. Okay. Focus back in as Gompertz looks for Schultz. That goes off the block and rolls just wide of the line. That counts just the same for Indiana Tech on Amelia Schultz's first kill of the night. Warriors hitting .438 in the early going compared to .067 for Concordia. Into the middle, Lineberger back set, and the swing just too far. One line judge had it in, the other had it out. It is a Tech point. Megan Newman attack air. Tyke was first in aces for a while this season until Van Ort overtook her. Lineberger back to Powell. She's had a good opening set, and this will be a Concordia point on the air against Tech. And Sorg, the one who made contact with the net there. Sarah Egelmeyer serving. First touch and a reception air. Give the ace to Egelmeyer. Fourth of the season, her fifth point of the year. It's primarily come in and played in this spot, serving for the sophomore out of Cleveland. And serves into the net, make it 16-10, and now Egelmeyer will come out. You could argue she did her job, though, picking up an ace. Paige Redder, that's where we see her serving. Powell, short roll, and the short roll works. Powell, point. And she'll come out as Jillian Kendrick re-enters. That'll also bring Peavy House back on the floor with Linebarger exiting. At 5-2 in that rotation for Concordia, where Tech will just stick to the one setter, Sarah Gompertz, and here she is, redshirt sophomore looking for Gostovich. It's partially deflected. Van Ort sets this time. Kendrick out wide. Repke can't put it away. Sorg got a touch on the block, and the spin is good. Coach Fishman loves it. 17-11. And this is, if you're an Indiana Tech fan, one of those spots where you really like to step on the gas and take this first set away from Concordia right here. Ball came over, chance to reset. Gompertz didn't even have to do anything. Sork's touch over and into the right spot. Sometimes you got to be lucky. Kostovich high arcing serve. Outside, swing came down the line. Cassidy Boner kept it alive. Return from Van Oort. There's Grepke. Gompertz for Sword. Kept her arm extended to get to it. Two-hand tip is just wide. Nice read from Gabriela Ortiz Acevedo. And an attack error from Concordia. Now a 9-point lead. I think we may have some Heritage volleyball players, one of the local high schools over on the other side of the court, taking in this match and taking in a good stretch from Indiana Tech right now. Warriors all of a sudden lead it by 10, and that is putting your foot on the gas for Indiana Tech. 5 points in a row. Grepke wins the battle against the solo block of Sword. 21-12, Grepke comes out, and Joy Pryor in her place. Out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, 5'5" freshman. Mount Pleasant, home of the Chippewas and Central Michigan University. Van Oort, big swing. Third kill for Van Oort. Gostovich leading the way right now for Indiana Tech with 4 kills. And this is Cassidy Boner serving 3 points for Tech to get. Just hung up. Gompert's going to take another swing at it. And it goes for Sarah Gompertz. Nice smile from her after the fact as well on her 23rd kill of the year. Timeout taken by Concordia. While we have a moment, let's check out the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference women's volleyball standings coming into play tonight. There was supposed to be a new top 25 out today, but it's just not on the NAIA website yet, so somebody's either lacking behind up there or something's just not right. Aquinas still at number 12, although, again, we should have a new poll out. Indiana Tech and Lawrence Tech both tied for second in the conference at 6-1 on the year. All alone in fourth place is Siena Heights, Cornerstone, Northwestern and Ohio, and Concordia, all at 4-3 in the WAC, with Michigan Dearborn alone in 8th place at 3-4 on the season. So that's how the conference stands currently here in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Other matches tonight: Siena Heights at Northwestern Ohio, Defiance at Lourdes, Cornerstone at Lawrence Tech, Dearborn at Aquinas, and Rochester Christian at Madonna. Those two teams in the bottom of the conference, as well as Defiance at Lourdes. So two teams that are at the bottom of the conference going to get a much-needed win here tonight and potentially separate themselves from some of the other lower teams as it stands currently. Backline first touch over and out. And we are at set point in the first. And Concordia thought maybe that ball had come back in. Problem is, when it's coming over off a touch like that, serve too strong. Sometimes you just give up on the play as it is. I was looking away and already counted it as a Tech point before that ball came down, so you wonder if maybe officials might have been in the same mindset. Set point 2, Wood jump serve. Gompertz looking for Tyke, just too far. Point Concordia. Warriors set point 3. Gompertz to Van Oort. It's good. And Indiana Tech grabs the opening set, 25-14 over Concordia. Warriors trying to make it 5 wins in a row heading into the conference crossover tournament this weekend with the Crossroads League. We'll switch sides and welcome you back for set number 2 after the break. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. SummitCitySports.com.
It's really important for freshmen to realize you get out of college what you put into it. If you dedicate yourself to your classes and to your projects and to what you're doing in college, you're going to have a really great experience here.
I wish someone would have told me my freshman year that it's important to prioritize, knowing what's important, what's not important, knowing what I need to do opposed to what I want to do.
The 2 things that I think all freshmen should know is buy a parking permit so you don't rack up a bunch of fines and tickets. And also make sure you go to class, because it seems like a good idea when you're skipping, but then it's not worth it in the end when you fail the test or don't turn in homework.
As an international student, my advice for the freshmen is to not be afraid to make friends, because your friends here will end up being your family away from home.
Anything that you want to do, anything that you want to put on, anything that you want to showcase on campus, you can. There's always people around to help you do what you want to do here.
Make sure that you always take time for yourself to make sure that you're okay, because college can be very overwhelming as far as like schoolwork and friends and sports and just like everyday life. Always just make sure that you get what you need to get done.
It's important to have a relationship with your professors, because you become more personable with them. You start to engage in the material more. They can give you recommendations, especially once you get out of college. You definitely want to put them down as like references, and if you have a better personal relationship, it just makes the whole learning experience go smoothly.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
We welcome you back to the Schaefer Center, SummitCitySports.com, and a 1-0 match advantage for Indiana Tech after the first. Powell soft touch over to begin set 2. It's Amelia Schultz. Got a touch and down, point Warriors. Jared Matheny for SummitCitySports.com. Glad you're with us this evening. Esau Haynes running our camera tonight. Noel Van Oort, cross-court serve. Return from Wood off nice effort on the Concordia side of things. Gostovich going off speed and nearly picked up her 5th kill. Point continues. Schultz across. Runner up against the block. Tyke slowed it down. Point continues. Well, it feels like the longest rally of the night so far. And attack air too strong on that June attack. Warriors point, and it is 2-0. A little bit more about that conference crossover. So how things are going to work for you Indiana Tech fans. Be a little bit similar to the Lykowski Memorial Tournament that we ran Friday and Saturday, almost a month ago now. Set coming into the middle, and Newman with the kill. First point for Concordia in the second. Friday, Jeff Mahoney's going to start our coverage at 3 p.m. I've got to work until 3 o'clock and then drive to Fort Wayne. So I'll be about 3:45, hopefully, in line and ready to go with the conference crossover. Amelia Schultz swing. Tech will take on Huntington at 3 p.m. on Friday. We're going to have one stream link for the first day because it's just action on one court on day one. Day two, we'll break it up into court 1 and court 2 again. Indiana Tech will be on court number 1. We'll consistently keep the Warriors on that first court live stream. And Tech will play 2 matches on Saturday. Indiana Wesleyan, top 10 ranked team, and Grace, who's currently in the top 25 as well. Again, waiting on a new poll, which was scheduled to come out today. Sarah Egelmeyer, an ace and a service error in set 1. Gompertz back setting Amelia Schultz. Good swing and kill. And Amelia Schultz gets things working early for Indiana Tech. Paige Redder back on the floor. Had the pleasure of talking with Sarah Gompert's grandparents on Saturday after the Lord's match. Appreciate all their kind words. Love covering Tech athletics wherever we're at here on campus. We just get the pleasure of being inside the Schaefer Center. Powell winds up, back line, Van Ort angles, Gompertz outside for Paige Redder, who takes a swing. Cardinals end up with the point off the kill from Merkel. Ortiz Acevedo replaces Redder. And again, for you Indiana Tech fans who are making the trip this weekend, matches will be at the Turnstone Center, not here at Indiana Tech. So just keep that as a heads up. Grepke slowed down by the block. Go to the opposite side and kill for Peavy House. Makes it 5-4. Gostovic to the back line and good. Gostovic had 4 kills in the first set, as did Noelle Van Ort. 5 kills, and now Gostovic leads all attackers so far tonight. Grepke winds up, and she gets the kill. Claudia Grepke, second kill on the night. 195 now this season for the senior from Las Vegas, Nevada. First team all-conference 2 years ago. Van Ort, last year's conference player of the year. 7-5 Tech with the early slight advantage in this set. And Van Ort on a little bit of a record watch, closing in on 1,500 career kills as well as 250 career aces. How about that block? And the return's not going to make it over. 8-5 Warriors. Junior from Lafayette, Cassidy Boner, 2 aces on the season, coming off a career high 12 digs against Lords in the last match. Tyke in the middle. Concordia with a punch to get it across. Slide for Hannah Tyke. Bullet off her right hand Warrior point, and it's 3 in a row now for Tech. Cassidy coming into tonight with 83 digs on the year. June, a lot of shaking at the net up front. Joust, Van Oort tried to dump it back down. Peavy House keeps it alive. June returns fire, dug out by Ortiz Acevedo. Kendrick setting behind her. Gompert's a swing, and this is a point for Concordia, and Gompert's called for the air. Popped up by Wood. June returns. Boner for Gompertz. Tyke, back corner again. Hannah Tyke's got another kill. And it's been a spread out attack so far for the Warriors, and that's some credit to Sarah Gompertz for spreading the ball out. Gostovich, Van Oort with 5 kills. Schultz has 4. Sorg with 3. Tyke and Gompertz each with 2. Coach Fishman will love to see those kind of stats, with the attack being dished out on all different sides of the floor. Back-to-back errors from Indiana Tech, and Concordia down by just 2 in the second. Looks like we've got the rugby team and the men's volleyball team in attendance here tonight. Would have been a 4th touch against Indiana Tech anyway. Another slide opportunity. Tyke hammers it home again. And she's been the eraser for problems for the Warriors in this second set. That slide has worked a couple different times. June swing. Went off a blocker hand and out. Indiana Tech didn't think that they had touched it, but June will pick up the point and the kill. Weinberger with the assist. And it looks like we may have had a reversal of that initial point decision. Both servers have a ball right now, but the down judge is talking with Concordia coach Danielle Cook. And instead of a June kill, it is a Tech point. So 12-9 Warriors, and it'll be an attack error. Lineberger angles, June drops it over the top. Schultz, big windup, kept herself off the net following the swing, and she's got 5 kills, and it feels like all of them pretty much have come here in set 2. Tyke and Schultz have delivered, and it's 13-9 Warriors in the second set. We're back at the Schaefer Center in 1 minute.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
You have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
One to nothing, Tech leading 13-9. Second set advantage for the Warriors. Noel Van Ort out of the Concordia timeout. Lineberger for June. This is down the middle and got a touch on the hands of Cassidy Boner. Point Concordia. Tap down, good for Powell. Make it 13-11. Here's Brianne June serving in again. Schultz too strong and sailed that one. Good response from this Concordia group out of the timeout. From 12-9, now 13-12. That got a touch. Gostovich pick up the kill. And she continues to lead Indiana Tech on the attack so far this evening. Long run for Lineberger. Grepke, free ball, made it. One-on-one outside, Gostovich, cross-court, powerful swing. 15-12, and Katie Gostovich is having herself a nice match. 7 kills on 17 attacks, hitting .353. Warriors hitting .358 as a group. It's for the match, not just this set. Little spinner over. Gompert's one-handed set for Sorg. And after the 3-0 run by Concordia, it's 3-0 from Indiana Tech. Grepke pushing over at Tyke. Tough angle. Grepke still on the attack. Gompert's back row. Van Ort with a tip. Wood gets to it. Touch 2. Slid over for Lineberger and down. Point Concordia. And second touch. Everybody's trying to figure out where they're supposed to move when she shoves it out for the attack, and whether that pass goes outside or to the back row, you're trying to move dependent upon it, and that's how you get the big circle where that ball can fall into on the court. Schultz backed up just a touch too much to try and dig that ball out. It's Powell the kill. Now 16-14, and we go back and forth here in set 2. Egelmeyer serving again. That return stayed inside the antenna, according to the head official. Grepke got it. One point away. Sorg off left and good. And that stops another 3-0 run by Concordia. Powell rejected. Gostovic gets her hands on it alongside Taylor Sorg. 18-15. Overpass. Gostovic back down and good again. And having one of her better nights in a Tech uniform this season, 8th kill. And she's made just one error, now up to 90 kills on the season. Repke, she's finding her swing right now as well. And we continue to go on 3-0 runs either way. Repke, her 4th kill, and now she's just 3 away from 200 on this season. Slide, Taylor Sorg this time on the approach, and she terminates. 20-16, Concordia does have a single timeout remaining. Off balance, and Peavy House couldn't make it over with the swing. And trying to keep this group focused on the floor right now is Coach Cook. Kendrick in the air, Peavy House returns. Van Ort two-hand shove across. Everybody trying to get back to their feet on the Tech side of the net. Repke rolls over. Sorg missed that swing. It's into the net, point Concordia. (21-17), Joy Pryor. 21 aces this season. And good serves like that have been part of the story. Give Taylor Sorg the assist, 2nd of the year. Van Ort's 6th kill of the night. June. Ortiz Acevedo slides in to dig it out. Van Ort, powerful back across. 23-17 Warriors. And Concordia will take its final timeout here in the second set. Tech trying to make it 2-0 at the Schaefer Center tonight. Warriors 2 points away.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Two points to get for Indiana Tech to win this second set of action from the Schaefer Center tonight. Set 1, 25-14. Set 2 sits at 23-17. Jaron Matheny for SummitCitySports.com. Glad you're with us. Esau Haynes running our camera tonight, and we'll be live 3 p.m. from the Turnstone Center on Friday. The conference crossover between the WAC and the Crossroads League. Miscommunication for Concordia and gave away that point to Indiana Tech. Cassidy Boner serves up set point 1 for the Warriors. Comes back over. Van Ort for the second straight set. Ends a set. And it's a 2-0 match lead for the Warriors as Tech tries to get to 7-1 in the WAC. We'll swap sides, come back with more Tech volleyball after the break. SummitCitySports.com and Indiana Tech Athletics here on YouTube. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Two to nothing match lead for Indiana Tech over Concordia as we welcome you back in to the Schaefer Center, SummitCitySports.com and Indiana Tech Warriors here on YouTube. Glad you are with us. Concordia will be off until next Wednesday when the Cardinals travel to Northwestern Ohio. Indiana Tech with that conference crossover I've been referencing coming up this weekend. One match Friday, two matches on Saturday. The tournament will begin at 12 p.m. on Saturday. But we'll have coverage Friday starting at 3 o'clock. Noel Van Ort. To serve as we begin our third set this evening. Tip over and contact with the net. And Concordia, the first point of the third. Isabella Asselay is in at the setter position. And Asselay setting outside to Tyke. Van Ort calls for it. Tyke, little tap. Powell returning fire. It is on the line on the cross-court kill. And straight down that net line for the point. Ace, back line good for June, and exactly the way that Concordia wanted to start the third set. Attack is out 4-1. And a tight jump serve causes some problems. Came back over to the Warriors. Van Oort setting to Gostovic. Sword keeps it alive. Vasilay set. Gostovic return made it over. Lineberger for Powell. And the lefty with the kill, 5-1. Schultz had to go off a back foot, kept it inside the antenna. Gostovic, good line, drive, swing. And that's her 9th kill. Wood, free ball over. Vasilay back setting for Sorg, popped up in the sky. And now the return from Grempke. Gostovic, another strong swing. And she's hit double digits in the kill total tonight. Good read of the court and dumped off near side by Peavy House, 6-3. This is Jillian Kendrick, 6-3. Concordia doubled up on Tech early in this set. Good read by Cassidy Boner, back line too far. Service error from Kendrick. But tough though for freshman, sophomore setters coexisting together and splitting time essentially out on the floor for Concordia this year. Both gaining valuable experience with that. Grepke looking for a touch and will not get one. It's a Warrior point off the attack error from Grepke. Certainly looked like maybe from this angle it took a slight change in direction. Tough to see up here. A little bit easier down on the floor, but not a whole lot easier when it's coming to just the fingertips of the blocks. Van Oort down the line, good, and we are tied at 6 as Noelle Van Oort lines up and delivers. Like a pitcher sometimes, you just need that fastball to come off her right hand to reset everybody. Kendrick going out for Grepke. Vasilay to Sorg, had to adjust just a hair. Grepke from the opposite side. Van Ort kept it alive. Punched back, Noel Van Ort saw the open court. Great play. Her and Gostovic each with 10 kills. 12 kills away for Noel from surpassing 1,500 in her Tech career. Another nice court read by Peavy House. The ladies, and within this set even, the ladies have done a fantastic job on both sides of reading the floor well. We saw it with that point over on the set from Lineberger. In set 2, Sorg up against the block. Wood dives, got to it. And that hits the antenna on the soft return from June. Off the block, kill good. Merkel ties us up at 8, and good back in fourth to begin set 3. Asselay went over on the second touch, and trying to get it back over was Wood. Asselay didn't see her coming towards the net. Hannah Tyke did. Didn't make a difference on the result necessarily, but good attention to detail. Asselay, redshirt freshman from Columbia, South Carolina. She had 17 assists against Valley City State. It's her career high. 6 aces coming in to tonight. She served long. Here's Lineberger. Van Ort tip. And Grepke spins it across. Amelia Schultz on the outside. Powell tip. Asselay to turn her hips. Re-angles back to the outside. Van Ort takes a healthy cut. And missed long on a ball that looked pretty good from here. Van Ort to the back row at Grepke. June, soft touch. Van Ort's right there, but it came back over. Good effort. Schultz kept it in. Powell outside. Could be a huge point for Tech. Rally continues. Grepke back line. Schultz still alive. Van Ort, free pass at it. 10-10. We've seen a couple of fastballs from Noel. Gostovic approach. Lineberger couldn't slow it down as Grepke slid in behind her. Otherwise, she may have been in a spot to get touched too, but that's the catch-22, right? If I go after this ball here and my teammate gets a hand on it, I'm not going to be able to get the second touch there, but if I don't go here, my teammate doesn't make that first touch, then it's a point anyway. Van Ort, ace. Second of the night, and she is just one shy of 250 for her career. Deep breath. Van Ort, jump serve over. Powell's attack is long, 13-10, and Concordia, Coach Cook They'll take that timeout. Probably a good time to do so, trying to keep the Cardinals in this third set as the Warriors are looking for a sweep on the home floor this evening.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Thirteen to 10, Warriors with a third set advantage, lead it 2-0 in the match. Out of the timeout, Noelle Van Oort serve. Swings good from Megan Newman, and Concordia stops the Tech run out of the timeout. (13 to 11) Warriors. Serve comes up short from June, and Tech inches just a step closer. Strong serve. Return fire. And Schultz the block. Hannah Tyke, line drive serve, and just through the hands of Grepke. Tyke ace, her 25th of the season. And now more than 120 points on the year as well for Hannah Tyke. Low line drive missile. Van Oort pushing out wide on the set for Schultz and just missed it on the swing. The turn of the wrist after the fact may have altered the spin of the ball. Sarah Egelmeyer. SLA trying to get it to Sorg and don't quite have that timing on the quick set up the middle for Tech. Isabella SLA in there for the first time tonight at setter here in set 3. Looking out for Gostovich. Other side, Schultz. Couple of swings off the tape for Tech. June swing is short. Attack air, 17 to 13. Warriors with a change will bring Paige Redder on. Lineberger went behind her to Peavy House. Her return is out, and Peavy House been pretty good so far before that mistake. That'll drop her hitting percentage back down to 0 for the match. 18-13. Outside Grepke shoved it up against the blockers. Asselay just tapped it back, and then Lineberger for the second time tonight picks up a kill, beating the middle of the Tech defense. Long run. And this one returned on the wrong side of the antenna. Gostovic snuck it in against the block. Point Warriors. Kendrick going for Grepke and missed it coming down the line. Near side, it's out. Attack air 20-15 Warriors on top. And again, Tech trying to get out of here quickly tonight because they've got 3 matches coming up Friday and Saturday this weekend. Not as grueling of a tournament as they've been to this year, but still a lot of matches in a short window. Sorg down the middle. That time they connect. 21-15. And the drought looks like it's going to continue for Concordia. This will be 18 match wins in a row for Tech over the Cardinals if they can hold on. Van Oort, tip. And eventually is good. 22-15. Concordia going to take its final timeout. 3 points to get for the Warriors to win their 5th match in a row and go to 7-1 in the conference.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
3 points for the Warriors to get tonight to move to 13-7 on the season and trying to make it 7-1 in the WAC. Tech with a win tonight would make it 13 wins in their past 14 matches, heading into this conference crossover tournament with the Crossroads League Friday and Saturday. Gostovic serves. We are underway once again in the 3rd set. Van Oort outside, block was there, and on the rejection is Marin Merkel. 22-16, Concordia out of timeouts. Coach Fishman does have a pair of timeouts if he wants to use them. Ortiz Acevedo, second touch coming outside for Van Oort. Kendrick to June, and the block is there. Isabella Asile with a big play here in set 3, and she's on the stuff. Hannah Tike gonna let her know about it a little bit. Depends on what team you're around. Some teams will straight up shove girls to the ground after big blocks, such as that one. Van Oort steps behind the 3-meter line to attack, and we've got a net violation against Concordia. It is match point number 1 for Indiana Tech. Match point 1. Free ball back, Warriors trying to close it out. Hannah Tike, not quite. Van Oort doesn't fall, point continues. June tap. It's Van Oort again. Shoved to the back corner, and that keeps Concordia alive. Match point 2. Van Ord on the outside. It's good. And Indiana Tech has won its 5th consecutive match. 13 wins in the last 14 times out for the Warriors, and a sweep of Concordia tonight. Tech 13-7 on the year, 7-1 in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. Noelle Van Ort, 13 kills. Katie Gostovich, 12 kills. Warriors hit just below 300 for the match at 299, and they hold Concordia to an 048 hitting percentage here this evening. Concordia led by J.C. Powell, who finishes with 8 kills, hitting 238 for Concordia. 7 kills for Taylor Sword, 5 for Amelia Schultz. Sarah Gompertz with 2, and Hannah Teich finishes with 3. Tech with another victory, and the Warriors have to feel like they're riding some good momentum going into this conference crossover this weekend. We'll step aside for 2 minutes and then hopefully hear from head coach Matt Fishman after we return from this break. SummitCitySports.com. We'll be back with Coach Fishman in just a moment.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.
Our distribution I was happy with tonight. Yeah. So that was good.
All right, we welcome you back to the Schaefer Center, SummitCitySports.com. Indiana Tech hitting just below 300, 299 to get the win here tonight over Concordia. Head coach Matt Fishman joins us now. Coach, what impressed you most tonight about this victory?
The girls stayed at a kind of constant 6. So, like, we've been talking about that since last year, about kind of finding what level works for us, not being too high, not being too low, and having those moments that you enjoy, but really just staying locked in, communicating. I think that was one of the things was big focus for tonight was, like, we have a job to do, and we got to stay locked in as long as we can.
Third set, you turn to Isabella Asselay. You get her a chance out on the floor. What'd you see from the redshirt freshman?
The one thing that we wanted to see big from her is her block. That was the thing that we know she can help us out with a lot. She has the ability to run a really good offense. She's strong, and she doesn't have to put much effort behind it. So it's a good opportunity for her to get some experience, especially if we're getting beat up on that outside at all over Sarah. But it's also, we've got another 1, 2, 3 more matches this week.
Yeah.
So it was a good time to give some opportunity out there.
And I felt like that was important here in the third set, knowing you had 3 matches coming up to try and get out of here in 3 sets tonight. Was that any emphasis from you in the huddle in between sets or the conversation coming in?
It wasn't a conversation that we had at all. It was something me as a coach I wanted to do,
right.
But I wasn't going to put that pressure on the girls. It was simply just come in, stick to the job, and if we create those opportunities, we'll take them when we get them.
3 matches this weekend. You mentioned it. It's going to be tough.
Yep.
Huntington's unranked, but the Foresters are good. They're always a good program.
Great setter.
IWU won the national championship last year, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And then Grace, who is always in the mix as well.
Yep.
Obviously, it's important to play really good volleyball teams. You did it at the beginning of the year. You do it through the conference season. But why this tournament now, and what does it give this team a look at going forward, potentially towards Sioux City?
Well, with this group, like we had so many great veterans returning and such great youth talent that was here that we were trying to figure out who we were at the beginning of the year. And so that's why we went and played 5 out of 6 top 25 teams. And we got our mouth punched, its teeth knocked out. But I thought it was a great opportunity, and it set us up for a great conference run so far. So now to have another opportunity at 2 top 25 teams, I think IWU's 8, and I think Grace is 19.
19, I think so.
So again, really good opportunity to challenge in ourselves and see where we're at. That won't affect conference. And Huntington's going to be a heck of a test to start. They've been receiving votes, and the Crossroads right now is all over them. I think they have 4 or 5 teams that are top 25.
Yeah.
So.
And the latest top 25 poll didn't come out today yet either, so there's a chance some of those rankings may move by the time we get to Friday. What's the biggest thing to look forward to for your group for this weekend? What do they have to do well in order to hopefully pick up 1, 2, or maybe even 3 wins?
It's super clear. Our team is locked in and ready to go when we're passing well. And then supporting that with some really good service pressure. If we're only getting 1 of the 2, it's a dog battle. So it's just us making sure we're really taking care of ourselves on the pass and the serve.
All right, Coach Fishman, appreciate your time. We'll see you Friday and Saturday this weekend.
All right, thanks so much.
That's head coach Matt Fishman joining us as we wrap things up from the Schaefer Center tonight, 3 p.m. on Friday, Huntington against Indiana Tech. As Coach just mentioned, Huntington may not be in the top 25 yet, but don't take that team lightly because they could come out and punch you in the mouth for sure. Concordia 9-10 on the year now, 4-4 in the WAC. They'll be back home a couple weeks from now, October 12th against Lord, so a week and a half from now, next Wednesday at Northwestern Ohio. We'll talk to you Friday night from the Turnstone, Friday afternoon, and then Saturday afternoon as well. For SummitCitySports.com, I'm Jaron Matheny. We'll see you next time.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior.